Someone asked me this question, and I'll read it to you. I want to start a side business in addition to my job, but I have no motivation. I dream of being self-sufficient eventually, but I can't seem to make the first steps. Any advice would be extremely welcome. What motivates you feeling incomplete? This video, I'm going to reply to this question and more. Hi, High Achiever. I'm Fabienne Raphaël, business coach, and I'm here to help you monetize your knowledge so you can fire your boss. And today we're going to talk about motivation. You heard in the intro, this lady wanting to start a side business and not feeling motivated at all. So my reply to that person was, maybe if you don't feel that motivation, it's because you still are comfortable in your position. You've maybe been in a situation where you couldn't take it anymore, and this is what forced you to take action into changing stuff. But what if you are comfortable into earning a certain amount of money every week or every second week, into believing that you will have this job forever, that into knowing that when you come back home, you don't necessarily have to have an extra set of hours aside to work on your side business because you're comfortable with the amount of money that you're earning, or you're able to pay all your bills and even go on vacation once or twice a year and just bear with that instead of living your purpose. The best way to find motivation into what you're doing, especially when you're starting and growing your coaching business, is to actually ask you the real question, why you're doing what you're doing. So for me, I'm doing what I'm doing because I want to leave a legacy for my kids. I want my kids to believe that anything is possible for them. I want them to be able to achieve their dreams or work for themselves and have a business if this is what they wish to have. I want them to feel that any type of thing that they want to start, grow, or accomplish, it's possible for them. I also want to be able to spoil my loved ones whenever I feel like it. And I want to experiment the word true freedom in all its senses, in all its different senses. So to me, that's my why. And that's why some mornings when I wake up and I haven't had a lot of sleep because my little one had a hard night, that I still get up and do what I have to do in order to reach my goals. Because I know that each increment is important for me to get to that next step and into reaching my goals eventually. So always keep the end goal in mind. The end goal could be, I don't know, earning maybe 20% more that month. Or it could be being able to connect with one new person every single day. It could be starting your business by the end of the summer. It could be hiring a coach or hiring someone to help you out. It could be delegating some tasks that you're doing that are taking a lot of energy and time instead of putting the energy on your side business. It could be that. But if you have the end goal in mind, and especially if you know why you're doing what you're doing, then of course, I'm not going to say it's going to be necessarily like way easier, but they're going to be easier than if you don't have that. Because if you don't have your why, the slightest little thing or the slightest decrease of motivation will actually crush you and just limit you into going forward into what you're doing. So I'm sure that you've attended conferences where there are motivational speakers, and I've had that experience. There was a year or two where I was in a networking company, and I remember that each time I would attend some of these events, the energy was like to the roof, and the speakers were like highly energetic, and it was contagious, right? All the room was extremely motivated, and I remember talking to the people over there and being extremely motivated and all excited and all that stuff. And then as soon as you get home, you go back to normal and like, wait a minute, like what just happened there? And it's crazy how the shift was like from high to very, very low, because I was not surrounded anymore by those motivational speakers. And I had not done the job at that time to really understand why I was doing what I was doing. Plus, I realized eventually that that company didn't really fit at all with my values, and I never ever again enter a networking marketing company after that. because I fell in love with online business coaching, right? So think about this. Whenever you attend an event, do you feel that there's a big gap between when you're over there and between what happens next when you leave? So that's why it's crucial that you take the time to reflect on why you're doing what you're doing, and then when these things happen, you still have the energy to do what you have to do. It's also the motivation comes from who you're surrounded with. So if you have a team that's working or helping you towards your goal, and your team is highly focused and know what they have to do, then of course it increases your motivation. If you're working with people that you always have to check on, like let's say if you hire someone and you always have to double check their work, or if it's frustrating to have that team member on your in your business, then maybe you should reconsider who you surround yourself with, because it plays a big role into your motivation. So business is hard. Business is extremely hard, and I've said it a lot, and I will continue to say it. It could be simple, but it's not easy. So sometimes you get punched in the face, not literally, but I mean by things happening, and definitely it's hard, and you might feel depressed, and you might feel as if like there's no solution, and you might feel that as if it's the end of the world. But you know what? That's how business is. It's tough on personal development and on self realization and self discovery and self improvement, right? So if you're waiting for motivation to occur, especially after those big hits, good luck. Good luck. Your business is going to close tomorrow. Motivation comes and goes, it doesn't stay all the time. So you have to be able to keep going forward, anyways, even though motivation is not always present. And I can take a sip of coffee. So the big question will be here, are you willing to put on the work despite the challenges, despite the discomfort, and despite the setbacks? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal? And are you willing to go inwardly, or introspect, right? Step back and really think about why you're doing what you're doing. The thing is, there's a lot of pressure from the society. There's a lot of pressure from your peers, from your family. They might not approve you going to business, or they might not necessarily understand why you're doing what you're doing. Well, the first person that needs to make that work is yourself. So if you really know why you're doing what you're doing, then whatever these people say won't matter to you, because you will be extremely focused. You will have people telling you, why don't you go back to a job? Why do you find another one? Why do you work so much? Why are you starting your side business? You got that degree in university, so what? You're just going to lose it all because you want to start your business? Your business has no clue with your idea of your area of expertise. It's not what you studied in. Why do you want to help these type of people? Like, you're going to have these questions coming from old friends, family members, people that knew you before you stepped on and said, well, I want to start my business. And that's why you should be very protective of your environment, right? And of the people you talk to about these projects. If you keep talking to people that don't own a business about business, well, guess what? They will bring you out of business, because they will be able to convince you that, hey, what you're doing is not what you should be doing. And it's funny because in the last few days, I was having that conversation with my life partner. I was saying, well, you know what? Like, these days, lately, we've been talking about business. Out of those 16 hours that were up, probably 12 out of 16 hours, 12, 13 hours, because it's intense. And I was wondering, how do they do it? Those people that own businesses and have a partner, a spouse, or family members that don't acknowledge that and that don't support them. It should be extremely, extremely hard. So if you are in that situation, what I invite you to do is really connect with people that have the same aspirations as you, have the same qualities as an entrepreneur, who are also high achievers, And these are the people who are going to propel you into achieving your goals. So let me know what has been your experience into going for your goals, but also with motivation, how easy or how hard it is for you to motivate yourself to keep going forward. And I'll see you in the next video.